Right now in the morning, deadly bombings at the Boston Marathon. They injured more than 100 people.
Ultimate chaos, everybody running everywhere.
What else witnesses describe? We're live at the scene with the very latest on the investigation.
And yesterday's tragedy changing things here at home. I'll tell you what, the Boston Marathon bombings, how will it impact the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon? Coming up.
And did you feel it? Several strong earthquakes shook the state. One even this morning. We'll tell you just how strong they were. It's all coming up right now.
Oklahoma's home for live local late-breaking coverage. Eyewitness News 5 in the morning starts right now.
Good morning, Oklahoma. I'm Maggie Stokes. Right now it's in the 50s. At 6 o'clock, we'll get to your full forecast in just a bit, but we're going to start you off this morning with team coverage of the Boston Marathon bombings. My co-anchor, Wendell Edwards, is live at the Oklahoma City Memorial. But first, we start with ABC's Tamon Bradley live in Boston.
Good morning. It's a difficult day here in Boston, one of many difficult days to come. Residents will put on a brave face today and return to work after their city was rocked by bombs. This morning, the city of Boston is on heightened alert less than 24 hours after terror erupted. Thousands were celebrating Patriots Day, running in the city's marathon, when just a few yards from the finish line at 2:50 p.m., the first bomb explodes.
Multiple people down here, okay? I don't know what the cause is. Stand by.
Chaos ensued amid the white smoke. Just seconds later, another explosion.
Large puff of smoke, and then ultimate chaos, everybody running everywhere.
I saw quite a few casualties coming back. I saw one guy with his legs gone at the knees, some ankles and feet missing, shrapnel wounds on people on the sides of the head, and other things. It's just not good.
The bombs went off about 4 hours after the start of the race, just 50 to 100 yards apart. First responders rushed to the scene while local hospitals quickly mobilized. Some victims were transported by wheelchairs and stretchers. One hospital official said the scene looked like a war zone. At least 3 people were killed and more than 140 were injured. Among the dead, 8-year-old Martin Richard. Overnight, neighbors set up a makeshift memorial outside his home. President Obama was notified within minutes. He promised action.
I'm supremely confident that Bostonians will pull together, take care of each other, and move forward as one proud city. And as they do, the American people will be with them every single step of the way.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News bomb techs are combing over forensic evidence for any clues about the explosive devices. Officials searched an apartment and are tracking multiple persons of interest, including a person who's receiving treatment at an area hospital, as well as another individual who was seen trying to gain access to restricted area 5 minutes before the bombs went off. Live in Boston, Tamon Bradley, ABC News. Now back to you.
Thank you, Tamon. And continuing our team coverage this morning, my co-anchor Wendell Edwards is live at the Oklahoma City National Memorial. And Wendell, should we expect some changes to the upcoming race here in our city?
Maggie, we should. Organizers are going to focus on security. That is going to be a top priority. Our own Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon is less than 2 weeks away now. And of course, they want to make sure that people come and feel safe. It is scheduled for April 28th, that annual race. And right now, organizers say that date shouldn't change. But security will be a top priority. Organizers here say the race is a symbol of hope for our city.
They come to run, to remember, and to celebrate life. And we don't want to do anything for any reason to put people in a position that could bring any damage.
So again, the race still scheduled for April 28th. Go on as planned for many people who run it every year in honor of their loved ones, or just for those who like to compete and those that come to watch too. So security will be heightened. Organizers say they'll keep the public informed on any changes so people can be prepared. And this year they're expecting at least 24,000 marathoners to compete, Maggie. And new this morning, we talked with an Edmond bomb tech about those explosions and those bombings in Boston, Maggie, and he had a lot to say about it.
You're exactly right, Wendell. We'll get back to you in just a bit. Yeah, he said it's hard to tell the exact type of bomb based on the video available, but we just got new video into our newsroom from someone in the crowd. They saw the second blast at the race. Take a listen. Another angle there. You can see here the chaos at the scene. This is all based on Well, actually, the text said that based on the white smoke you just saw, it could be a nitrate-based explosive. He said nearly anyone with internet access could make one.
You have to have some knowledge about how to construct the devices, but with the internet and books that are out, especially with the internet, there are a lot of videos out on the internet that explain how to do these things, unfortunately. So it is readily available to the general public.
And once again, that is just by looking at the witness video right now. The FBI is looking into the Boston Marathon bombing, and we'll bring you updates on air and online as soon as we hear anything else about this investigation. 6:05 now. For now, time to move over to weather on the 5s and in the 50s. A little cooler than this time yesterday morning, Brad.
Maggie, it is pretty cool. Yesterday was right around 60, this morning in the low 50s, and today we've got a lot of clouds here, so numbers really won't warm up all that quick. Right now, Oklahoma City is 53, 43 in Woodward, so 10 cooler in Woodward compared to the metro. Check out Ardmore Durant. It's in the 70s right now. You got a lot of moist air there and a lot of energy for storms. I don't think we'll see a lot of storms here today because of the cap, but this moist, warm air going to slide into metro Oklahoma City tonight, and tomorrow will be our severe weather day. Hour by hour today, we've got 50s clouds with us through noon. In fact, it really won't warm up a whole lot today. Maybe we jump into the low 60s if we get a little bit of sunshine, but most of the day spent only in the 50s. And then there's tomorrow. Tomorrow, moderate risk still in effect for central Oklahoma, Oklahoma City right in the middle. Large hail, strong winds, tornadoes are a possibility tomorrow. We'll talk more about this system in depth with meteorologist Danielle Dozier coming up here at 6:15. And we'll show you the freeze that could be on the way. Maggie, that's coming up. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brad. Well, late breaking here at home, did you feel it? An overnight earthquake, several, shook the state. We actually just got another one during our broadcast earlier this morning, and KOCO's Rob Hughes is live. And Rob, what's the latest info on this?
Maggie, that last one was at 5:16 a.m. It was near Luther, and it was actually a 4.2, almost as much as the most intense so far. And that one was a 4.3 quake, also near Luther, a little bit earlier this morning around 2 a.m. We want to show you a map we have for you of where these quakes hit. Now, experts are now reporting a total of 5 shallow quakes this morning. 3 were near Luther, 1 near Bully, and 1 near Chandler. Now, officials say it is common for several earthquakes to hit during a short period of time, and so far no injuries or damage have been reported. And keep in mind that earthquakes east of the Rockies can be felt over an area as much as 10 times larger than earthquakes on the West Coast, and we will bring you the latest info as soon as we have it. Live in the studio, I'm Rob Hughes, KOCO Eyewitness News 5.
Okay, thank you, Rob. And continuing our coverage from Boston, victims there recovering from tragedy. We're tracking how the marathon bombing victims are doing this morning. Weather and traffic on the 5s here at home, 52 degrees. Possible storms in store for later on today. We'll check in with Brad in just a bit.
She's not live. Got it. Okay. We were confused. Got it.
You're watching Eyewitness News 5 in the morning. Live local late breaking with Maggie Stokes, Wendell Edwards, First Alert Traffic with Rachel Calderon, and First Alert Weather with meteorologist Brad Souter. Now, Eyewitness News 5 continues.
Welcome back and good morning, everyone. I'm Wendell Edwards live at the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum. This morning, investigators were back on the scene of the deadly explosions there in Boston in the middle of the Boston Marathon. We knew that those two explosions at the finish line killed 3 people. This morning, KOCO's Hallie Jackson has the latest on 140 others who were injured.
In the aftermath of this Boston Marathon bombing, we're learning at least 3 people were killed, including reportedly an 8-year-old boy. More than 140 others hurt, 17 of those in critical condition when 2 bombs went off near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Officials believe the explosions, about 4 hours into the race, were timed for maximum carnage. And hospital officials say what they're seeing is what you'd expect from a war zone. About 17,000 runners had already finished the race, one of the nation's oldest, most prestigious marathon, but some 6,000 more had yet to cross the finish line. According to Reuters, this was the worst bombing on U.S. soil since security was tightened after 9/11. In Boston, I'm Hallie Jackson reporting.
And we'll be following the recovery of all of those who were injured in that bombing. And coming up when I see you again in the next half hour, Maggie, we'll talk to a survivor of the Oklahoma City bombing and how they're trying to reach out to those in Boston this morning. Reporting live this morning, Wendell Edwards. Now back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Wendell. We'll check back in with you in just a bit. And you can follow this developing story all day on KOCO.com. We'll be posting updates to our webpage as the FBI investigates the bombing. Again, you can find all the breaking information on KOCO.com. The fate of a Native American Oklahoma girl. The case could move forward for this toddler today. What's happening in the Supreme Court?
As you get started this morning, want to prepare for some chilly weather across Oklahoma. We are waking up to temperatures in the 50s, and today we're going to see some 60s and some 70s, maybe even an 80 all over the place. Severe weather, the latest on it, scheduled for tomorrow. That's next.
What's happening? Welcome back to Eyewitness News 5 in the morning, approaching 6:15 on your Tuesday morning. Whew, everyone's getting rattled.
A little rattled, no pun intended there, yeah.
No.
Man.
Here at home, you might have felt it. We felt the latest one around 5:16 this morning.
Talking about those earthquakes, 5 of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the strongest was a 4.3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
yeah.
4.3.
But then we had a
4.2.
4.2. I mean, there's been 5, all centered around Luther, Oklahoma, which is just amazing.
It is. It is. Not just at home either. Now reports coming in from Iran that a 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit there. People could feel it all across the Persian Gulf.
That's a big deal.
It is a busy morning. Yeah, and we'll have more information on that as soon as we get it into our newsroom.
Yeah, you know, our 4.0 magnitude's probably nothing more than a couple little picture frames off. You know, maybe the store shelves have a can or two that's been knocked off. Hopefully that's all, but a 7.8, yeah, you're going to find some damage with some of that. Okay, here at home, we also have some severe weather to talk about above the quakes. We didn't know the earthquakes, obviously, were going to occur this morning. Still trying to work on how to forecast earthquakes, aren't we? But we've got the severe weather threat tomorrow, and that's something we're really looking at. Clouds and cool today. Severe weather Wednesday, freeze possible by Friday morning. So a couple storms rattled across northern Texas yesterday. They blew up yesterday evening, quickly fell apart. Watch them there. They're gone by the time they get to 35. And the new round of severe weather with some hail and some wind southeast of Oklahoma yesterday. For today, western Oklahoma under the gun with large hail, some strong winds possibly. I think the air's pretty cool. It's going to change tomorrow, though. Moderate risk now. Large hail, strong winds, and tornadoes are certainly a possibility. Right in the middle of this moderate risk, Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Could be a day where our metro areas have to really watch. I think you're going to need to. Meteorologist Danielle Dozier and I are spending a lot of time on this moderate risk tomorrow because, Danielle, it is a big deal and there are a lot of components.
Certainly a big deal and a lot of factors to look at. We're going to start first with the upper levels of the atmosphere. We have a very strong low pressure that's going to be moving in. You can see it starts around the Four Corners. That's Wednesday, then pushes through Oklahoma on into Thursday. Also have to look at what's going on at the surface. We've got a lot of moisture coming in with these winds from the south-southeast. We have a dry line that's going to be along the border there. As you see, that's the yellow feature. That will bring a lot of moist air to the east of that dry line, and you need that moisture to get storms to fire. Low-level winds, something to watch overnight. We may have some storms overnight as well into tomorrow morning. Position of the warm front, that forecast to be in northern Oklahoma, so that will put us in what we call the warm sector. Got a lot of warm air. You need warm air for severe weather. Timing of the cold front is